Hi, everyone. Welcome to our reading. This is going to be a Twin Flames reading, in particular, but maybe not, there may be other messages too, but in particular, those who've been in and out of union or in and out of communication, can't bring it together. You know what I mean? I've been doing a lot of readings about love lately, new love coming in, old flames coming back. Or old lovers, I should say, because it was about really soulmates, though there was some twin flames in there too. So I thought, you know what, let's do a twin flames reading, and let's do it for those who, instead of like, when are they coming in, we want to know what's going on. This we're together, we're not together, we're communicating, we're not communicating, that type of thing, and figure out what's going on. Any advice that our guides, our spirit guides, may have, I am more than happy to accept. I would say in a reading like this, you need to be really open, okay? Because if there's any, whatever your part is, it should come up. But that's a good thing. That way you can see it. I always say, once you see it, once you give it the light of day, then you can make real changes. Then you can make everlasting changes. When we deny it, right, we keep the blindfold on, that's when things remain the same. Even if we come back together, it seems to be the same thing again, right? Maybe it's, oh, so sweet at first, but then it gets right back to where it was. So anyway, this is the kind of reading we're going to do today. I went out and picked us a few fresh flowers. I brought in my sage. I just bought my sage the other day for one of the love readings. I really felt called to get sage, so I did, and it's still forming, but I love it. So I want you to have an optimistic energy here, right? Because whatever we hear, even if it feels difficult for a second, the truth of the matter is, it's going to be freeing. It's going to free you. It's going to free them. And that's when real change comes. And that's when you get your Ten of Cups. That's when the Ten of Cups comes. All right. I'm going to ask you, go ahead, take a couple seconds, do a little deep breathing. Myself included. I just saw the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. I just feel like I have to recognize him. Potentially, he could be a water sign. He is a water sign, but doesn't mean that's what sign he's representing today. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Interesting. I never say them the same way. I'll start with Scorpio one time and Cancer one time. I find that interesting. I find everything interesting. Patterns. Why? Spirit guides. Why do we keep going in and out of this relationship? What do we need to know to get it right, to bring us to a place of optimism and to keep us in that place? How do we get to the place of working together, wanting to commit to each other? True commitment. That's what we want to know. I, as always, invite my spirit guides into our readings, and then allow them to invite your spirit guides into the reading, whichever ones need to come in. Can be at different times. I'm doing this on a Friday, by the way, happy Friday. This is not my normal setup, but it is like, again, 95, 100 degrees out and high humidity. It's going to rain. Thank you, God. I can't wait. I've never wanted rain more. Anyway, so excuse the small table. Feels very small to me. However, once I get into the reading, I forget about all that. Okay. The King of Cups is also someone who, in their light, realizes that being in a relationship feels the best to them. Sometimes even if it's not a great relationship. But in the light, they feel better within a relationship than without a relationship. They're open. That's the word I'm looking for. They're open. Okay, we have the Prince of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, potentially, right? Looking towards the past. We have the Three of Cups. This is the energy of feeling wild. I feel like this person at a time. It's interesting. I saw a king at the bottom of the deck, and now I'm seeing a prince. I feel like it is talking about, maybe why at one time I didn't want to be in a relationship. I feel like someone, um, feels wild here, like woohoo, like whooping it up. Um, yeah, I feel like, you know what I feel like, honestly? You were probably one of these three people in this relationship in the Three of Cups. And I feel like there may have been others, but I don't feel like um, there were serious, I feel like there weren't commitments to these other women or men. We can reverse this, of course. But I'm definitely feeling, you know, this prince was um, playing the field. I feel like trying different things out. Maybe that relates to women or men, but I feel like I wanted to try different things. And I don't feel like it was for any other reason than I feel like back in the day when they were young, I feel they were wild. It's funny because I'm not feeling like there was a tight commitment between the two of you. Though one could certainly think that, right? And the other could think not. We could be on, different sides of the same coin. Anyway, look at this. We got the Ten of Swords. So, I feel like this is where we've been. Ten of Swords is what other people have done to me, but in a way, I feel like we let a lot of these swords pierce us. We didn't have to. Maybe that means we didn't walk away soon enough. We didn't demand that, we didn't demand respect, therefore we didn't get it. To me, this is the energy of, like, I've had enough. I surrender. I surrender. And I feel like it's probably more you who's watching who's in that energy. Look at this. We have the Ace of Wands. So this is beautiful potential, right? A lot of people feel aces are gifts from heaven. Let's talk about the wand journey. That is a journey of fire and passion. And look at this person. It looks like they fought to get here. Interesting, we go from the 10 directly to an ace. Seems too easy, right? Seems too easy. I feel like this is you. Like, it's a new day. It's a new dawn. You're starting new. I feel like this is you who was at the point where I had just had enough. It's like the surge came through, you know? I feel like this Ace of Wands was like the surge of just knowing. More than that, look at that, we have the Ace of Swords, which, slowly, I feel like, came in reverse. And I like that. Those are, here's that blindfold. This is me taking the blindfolds off, right? Why am I in this 10 of Swords energy? Like, I feel like I've been here forever. Why? Why? I surrender, right? Because this is the energy of being in my head. And because I'm in my head, I'm in denial. Not because you're in your head, but I feel like someone it was like I had just been in denial. Maybe I've been young, right? And listen, this is all part of the experience, by the way. These are about lessons and what you're learning here, right? I feel like the Ten of Swords is saying you didn't have to stay as long as you did. It's okay that you did, but here ultimately is the result of that. Um, because what does it do? Well, it changes you. And being in Ten of Swords, I don't know how long you were in it, but bam, that Ace of Swords. When I'm in the dark, all I gotta do is seek the light and I will find it. And here it is. Here it is. And what does that do? This tells me while you were in the Ten of Swords, you maybe, in a way, were forced to see things for reality. See things that you didn't want to see before, right? Maybe it allowed you, because 8 is about completion also and infinity. And maybe um, there were things you started to realize about yourself. First the negative, but then the positive, right? Then the positive. And I feel like it's within the positive that you make these changes with. So what does that do? It allows all those swords to drop out, to fall off. Almost like, it's almost like I'm going to blot you out. Some would call this awakening. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the 2 of Cups. Interesting. That's quite beautiful energy. The 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. This is the love of my life. This is living my life with the one I choose and chooses me. But the Ten of Swords is above it, and I can't ignore that. Right? I can't ignore it. Let's see who comes next to that. Some people say when you get married that you make that commitment to stay to the end, and I disagree with that. I think when you're not having, listen, I think if you tried everything, but you feel that you're not meant to be there anymore, I feel like you should go. And because that means that there's something for you to experience. And I have a feeling it's going to be important, or it was important. There was a real growth within that, right? With the Ten of Pentacles, as soon as not as soon as I dropped those swords, I dropped those swords, and part of those swords is the Prince of Wands. Part of what I'm dropping here, back then, is this prince sowing his wild oats, so to speak, right? Because what is he doing? He's putting me in the Ten of Swords energy. Doesn't mean I don't love him. Doesn't mean I don't love her. Doesn't mean I don't recognize who she is. But what it is teaching me, because it's meant to teach, right? Having the realization through the Ten of Swords brings you that Ace of Wands. It's a brand new, it's a brand new beginning. It's a brand new way of looking at things. It's a new perspective. And with that, again, the swords come out. We have the Emperor, card of Aries, Major Arcana, under the Ace of Wands. Some of you may have found yourself in with opportunity you weren't expecting. Some of you, this person who you've been with and then, broken up, what have you. Maybe it's just once, but I have a feeling it was more than that. Anyway, some of you, this certainly could be talking about work. Some of you, I can tell you, I feel like this person reminds you of your father. Both the good and the bad. Huh. Okay, we'll turn that whatever. I have the Seven of Cups. So that's needing to make a choice, right? That's me making a choice. I have the Four of Swords. Beautiful. That's a healing. Well, hello, Temperance. I love Temperance. This card is Sagittarius. But look where it's falling. Between healing and connected to the Two of Cups. So what does this tell us? We're doing a twin flame reading, right? This is talking about divine timing. Divine order. I often feel like if we just surrender to thinking we have to be there, and let ourselves go experience what needs to be experienced in the world, I often feel that's better. Because remember, you are each other's greatest teacher. Well, how do you teach if you have no experience, right? If you haven't lived. All right, we have the Seven of Wands. And then we have Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. So we have a lot of fire in this reading. Again, potentially Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's go ahead and bring out the Cosmic Tarot and let's start clarifying. Let's get a little deeper. I mean, I feel like it's pretty clear. I feel I can tell you this for some of you, if not all of us. I feel like, if we get together too soon, because it definitely feels like I got together with this person, and this person, I almost feel like they're not, or at least then, they were making no excuses about it, in a way. Does that make sense? And maybe I hung on. Of course it can be reversed, guys. Right? Maybe I hung on, right? Seven of Swords, or Seven of Cups below that. It's like wanting to make a decision, but I'm starting to get to the point where I don't trust myself. Right? I don't trust myself. Oh my God, if I leave, will I never see this person again? Am I meant to leave? I'm a twin flame. I don't know what to do. I don't understand. Right? That's what the Seven of Cups is. Ultimately, though, I feel like you have an awareness that not only should you put yourself first, but you're allowed to put yourself first. We have a card that's flipped over in there. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Okay, wait a minute. It's half my deck. Interesting. No, it's not. I was gonna put The devil came out. I was just going to try to put it back in there, but it flipped out of my hand like, nope, coming out. Part of Capricorn, by the way. Okay. So, we have the Eight of Pentacles comes first. Some of you, I feel like you met this person, or this may be talking about a time when you were just beginning, career-wise, let's say. Then, well, it could be school, too. It just got, you know, because why am I stumbling? I feel like, at this time, there was something I was meant to focus on. Okay. Something I was meant to focus on. But my focus, because she's looking right down at this prince, was on the prince. Right? So I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is always a potential. This tells me, if I focus on a career, whatever, a craft, whatever, any creative ideas, if I focus upon something, I can make it grow. But if I focus on a person and I'm trying to change them through that, we have to remember there's free will. And, I don't know. Maybe they change for a little bit and then they change back, right? It's because we're trying to move them faster than they want to move. I feel like it's just the truth of the matter. Then we have the devil. So I feel like with this coming over the Three of Cups, this is just talking about the energy at the time, right? The devil is about our shadows, right? That is things that we feel tied to, people we feel tied to. Um, is this a cursing or is this a blessing? That type of thing. And I don't mean to call Capricorn a curse, not at all. I love Capricorn. But I'm feeling that energy like, sometimes it feels like a blessing and sometimes it feels like a curse. I feel like I just don't like the energy there, to be honest with you. Like I could see the patterns. I could see it building up to the point of the Ten of Swords through the devil energy. And that is, though, again, the Two of Cups, I love someone, right? That is clear. Like that part, I know that I love them, right? I know that I love them. But nonetheless, here is this energy exists. Eight of Swords for a little while, right? I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to see it. I didn't, I don't feel like you had any part in this. So, like, I hope you're not judging yourself in any way. Um, I want to say for a few of you, you may have then moved back home and met a soulmate. And soulmate love is beautiful too. So, um, love is love. Love is love. Anyway, let's keep going. I can definitely see some work situations here too, though. Meeting at work or working together. In some way, I feel like you either found the comfort of home, you moved back home, something like that. I feel like that helped bring healing to your heart because it was your heart that was broken. Within this card, the Four Swords, it's all about healing, right? But where are those three swords? In the heart. But he's laying on one of them. To me, that's like that blindfold, right? This is what I'm trying to find. There's the energy of Mother Mary looking right down on him. All you had to do is ask. I feel like that's what Mother Mary is saying. I just needed you to ask. So, then we have Temperance. Why am I down here? Anyway, let's go back up to the top. Look at that. So we have the Five of Pentacles, which of course makes perfect sense, right? Coming over the Ten of Swords to the point I can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. So I feel like, I don't feel like, I know this is the split, right? 10 down to the 5, coupled to single, independent. And I'm not feeling independent at that moment, maybe. There's a lot of uncomfortableness in that energy, but it sets you on a very spiritual type path, where you start to meet a lot of soul family, and you may not recognize them. Yeah, well, you probably don't of that, but you feel it. You're like, wow, why'd that person, just suddenly, like, why'd that person help me out when they didn't have to, right? There's a lot of that type of recognition, and you start to feel not so alone. And maybe you start to feel purpose, because here comes that Ace of Wands. You had to go through the uncomfortableness, though. I just feel like there was no way around it. You had to go through it, and you did. And I feel like it's exactly what you were meant to do. And again, I don't know if I keep repeating this, but this is about lessons. They can be good lessons, but they can be difficult lessons. These are lessons that we ask for, that we require, right? And boy, I tell you, when you start to figure that out, a lot of things make sense, especially those who feel lost. Look at that, the Six of Pentacles. Excuse me. That's a beautiful energy. That's a very compassionate type energy. I feel like it could even be someone feeling compassionate towards you. Someone, again, reaching out their hands to you to help you in some way. It could be your father. And I feel like they see it your way. If I'm going to tell my story to someone like you would tell to a friend or something, um, they would see my perspective. Interesting, we go from the Five of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles immediately. That's balanced energy. Everyone thinks twins got to be together now. But when you are, and you're not ready, it's unbalanced, right? So you're more balanced on your own than you were balanced in that type of relationship at that time. At that time. Just like all of us, we grow sometimes when we want to grow, but we grow different times. Look at that, the Eight of Swords on the Eight of Swords. The Hierophant card of Taurus. And the Ten of Wands. Look at that, the Ten of Wands. Coming over the Ten of Pentacles. Some of you, you may have been living together. Because here's the healing all on that. And look at the Ten of Wands is touching the Ten of Swords. Difficult energy. What did I need to do? I needed to go, okay, let's put it this way. Where was the problem within myself? My self-belief. The things that I were telling myself, things that I was telling myself. And it may be that list I gave you earlier, right? But I'm a twin flame, and we're not meant not to be together. But I love them, that type of thing. Well, sometimes you gotta love them from afar. It's better off to love them from afar, because look at this, Ten of Wands and Ten of Swords together with the Ten of Pentacles. First of all, 10, 10, 10, 30. I don't know if that means anything. We'll figure it out. But so the Hierophant is looking back at the Eight of Swords. A Hierophant is a higher energy, and it's interesting because the Hierophant's looking back at the Eight of Swords upright, and the ultimate result is the Eight of Swords in reverse, where the swords drop off. So, what was our part? First of all, maybe to know when enough was enough, right? Because we're the whole way to the 10, to the point where we are the injured party, right? We're the injured party. So we think, right? Because we got all of our eggs in one basket over here. It's all or nothing on this person. My life is wrapped around them at that point. Because that is truly where your focus is. And I feel like one of your ancestors or your spirit guide or someone got through to you. Again, when I'm in this dark, just gotta seek a little bit of light, pinprick of light, and it will grow. And that's what happens. First thing you realize, I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm feeling unbalanced, right? This doesn't feel right. So you do that. What happens? The Ace of Wands. I know it's not immediate because the Five of Pentacles is first. Well, not first, but on top of the Ten of Swords. So that talks about some uncomfortableness time, right? We just got to accept that it's going to be uncomfortable just for a period of time. However, that's exactly when our soul family starts coming in. Whether they come in for a minute, whether they come in as best friends, whatever. Whether, it doesn't matter. It's when we have the recognition of, whoa, there's something bigger going on here. Something bigger. And that's what the Hierophant is saying. This is where you needed to start pulling your energy. And when you did, what did you do? You took that Eight of Swords, that self-created prison, where I was all about this person, right? My whole focus was my whole life. And I turned that around and I let it go. And I know that Prince is one of the things that you let go of. No wonder you have the Seven of Cups here. Trying to make a decision. But, I love him. I feel tied to him, right? All of this. This is what I keep, I watch videos and I hear that you're supposed to be together. You're supposed to be together. And all that. So, anyway, let's keep going. I have to tell you, this reading is very clear. We have the Tower. So, with these tens, the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords, here's the Tower. For many of you, I feel like it was you delivering the Tower, right? This is something that feels a little shocking. And I wouldn't be surprised if this prince was like, what are you talking about? And you're like, really? Really? Anyway, for some of you, it may be them, because that is where you built your life around that, and it became scary to, when you do that, then it's scary because you're not being all you can be, right? You're being half if of who you are when you're in that type of energy. It's okay to focus on someone, but I don't think you're meant to put like 100% focus on one person at all times, even your twin. You have got to still chase your dreams. And I feel like at that point, you weren't. They weren't. Something, whoever, at that point. So anyway, here's the Tower. Over all the tens and the Two of Cups. But look at that. The Ten of Cups. The Prince of Swords. And the Ace of Cups. How much do I love that the Ace of Cups is coming over the Four of Swords? For some of you, I feel like you may have gone home. You may have gone home and maybe you had been surrounded, then you were surrounding yourself, I feel like, with a different type of love, and could be of friends, could be of family, could be of the location. But I do feel like you made a major change. At least it feels pretty major. But I kind of feel like still a familiar place. So that's why I'm wondering if you went back home. Um, okay. I just feel like I was missing something there. We have two cards. We have the Moon, card of Pisces, coming over the Two Cups and Temperance. I forgot Temperance is here, which is interesting because I usually remember that she's here because again, it's about divine timing and divine order. It's trusting in divine. Um, and I feel like that means like if it is truly meant to be, it will be. Um, I feel like source will move, you know, heaven and earth to for what is meant to happen, right? Timing can be different, Dev. So anyway, let's look at this. So we have Temperance with the moon coming over her, and boy do I feel like she's saying, um, you were in the night, you were in the dark, right? This love, which here it is, by the way, this is the energy of unconditional love. So what that means to me, like, um, even if I leave someone, it doesn't mean I necessarily stop loving them. Some people, yes. Yes, maybe before that. But not here, not in this story. I feel like the one thing that feels clear to me is the love. And I feel like that goes both ways. Because this is the energy of unconditional love. And I feel like sometimes that's how you love. Let someone go. Let them go. Let them go and go do your thing. Like, grow your thing. And Temperance is saying the energy was in the dark, right? Here's the devil to back that up. It was in the dark. Doesn't mean it went away. It's still here. But it was in the dark. And look at that. The tower is right above that. And Temperance is above the Five of Cups, too. So I feel like um, some of you are really getting it. Anyway, again, we have the Queen of Wands. Her second appearance. She is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And I want to look at something. Actually, I want to take a couple cards. It's interesting how I go from the Tower directly to the Ten of Cups. And in between that right now is the Ace of Wands and the Emperor. So in some way, this Emperor may have given me an opportunity, though maybe didn't feel like an opportunity. I don't know. Maybe, because again, I'm in the Five of Pentacles energy. So, I'm still still feeling it all, right? But again, the right people showing up, and that's what it feels like here, like something or someone showing up, and it can be a job offer in between this Tower to the Ten of Cups. I feel like there's distance there. So I do feel like something was offered, something I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. We have the Three of Cups in between. I'm going to take one more of that. It's interesting because I feel like I know some of you moved back home, and I do feel like you connected with some old friends. It's interesting how the Queen of Wands and the Emperor, I almost see them as like mom and dad or mom and sis or something like that. and then my friends over here. And they help pull me through a lot of this, right? We have the Four of Wands. Well, first of all, it's a commitment card. And look how it's pointing. It's pointing towards the future. Look at her arm and her leg. All pointing towards the future. I'm just looking at the flower because I feel like it's looks like that flower right there. Here's the Emperor again. I feel like this Emperor has a part in your life. Maybe he or she, but maybe he communicated to you. Some of you, it is the Emperor that you left. But for others of you, I do feel like it is like a father figure now. It could be a boss. Um, I feel like in some way, maybe showed you a different perspective, and that's why you took this path. That's when you finally let the tens end. Because this Emperor over here is speaking. It's like speaking and speaking about your love. It's coming over the Seven of Cups, so I feel like this is someone who doesn't trust. And that's why I feel like they know in some way your story, because I feel like they don't trust that person. We have the Five of Cups. Some of you are saying right now, but Sandy, I miss them. I miss them. And I know you do. I know you do. But I want you, if you want to continue with it, listen, you don't have to even continue with the journey. And that's what you're doing here. You're saying, at least for now, I'm going to start focusing on my own things, right? How I make my money. Because it is a Pentacles, and I feel like the Emperor, right, who potentially a boss, right? This is you. Wow. This is, I love the Five of Pentacles, even though I know there again is some uncomfortableness. I love that energy, and it is when we're feeling broken. But I have to be honest, I feel like at that time, if you can stay aware a little bit, I feel like this has happened to most of you already. Or if look back and think about that time, and I bet you can point out some of these people who just, in one way or another, showed up for you. Now, it doesn't always have to be in big, major ways. It may be someone who just helped you along a path, pushed you, you're at a crossroads, and they come and like, talk you into going that way, and then they're gone. But then you continue down that journey, and maybe it's the best journey of your life. I don't know. Here's the Chariot, card of Cancer. And this is about balance, right? This is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But this is when both are in balance. And what it says is when that happens, the Chariot shows up. And when the Chariot shows up, then, I don't know, I feel like you can go anywhere with it, right? You can go anywhere with it. It's being fueled by the Ace of Cups. It's being fueled by it. It's its gasoline. And I feel like Temperance is saying here is, unfortunately, someone was, some prince was in this energy. And I'm saying, unfortunately, I shouldn't say that because I feel like they learn their own soul lessons through their own journey. And part of that may be like, whoa, what was I doing? Maybe they have the realization of how they hurt you, right? Because the one thing I know that is consistent is the love for each other. And that doesn't mean it's always right there at the top. Again, some of you may have married other people, and maybe they're a soulmate. Can't tell you how. Well, I kind of am. What am I trying to say here? You can't guarantee anything because people have free will and people will grow when they're ready. And pushing someone to grow sooner than they're ready maybe robbing them of a lesson they needed to learn. Same for ourselves. Um, and then sometimes when, we are down and out, people show up. Things, and I'm saying people, and it is people, but it's also signs show up. Ways are illuminated to me. Some of you, I feel like, your dream may have in some way been to bring balance into the world, and that may mean I'm fighting for the underdog. Maybe that was your dream, but maybe you didn't chase it, right? So I feel like you then did, like I start to realize all this, and I feel like you stayed for a long time though, or maybe you kept taking them back, but they hadn't really changed yet. I want to say yet because they will, but it will be on their own time, because I think, do you want to force someone to be with you or do you want them to want to be with you? And if they just don't want to be with me right now, well, what can I do on my own that I can grow? Maybe I create a business, right? Someone, I feel like you open a daycare, or you run a daycare. I feel like there's a lot of different things. Some of you, it moves you, you may have gone back to school and learned like psychology and all that's around that. Because I feel like many of you have fought for the underdog, and I think it's kind of beautiful. So, and I think they will too. Ultimately, I do have the Four of Wands here. It's pointing to the future. And I feel like what it talks about, and it's touching the Ten of Cups, and it's touching the Ace of Wands, and it's touching, and that's going into the Six of Pentacles, which all begins with the balance, right? Unbalanced, balanced. I feel like as we jump down here at the Five of Cups, right next to the Chariot. And I feel like what this is talking about is, even if we have moved on with our lives, I feel like someone starts to miss you. Really miss you. I feel like they know that they messed up. all of a sudden am feeling it very deeply, as in, I miss you. It's funny how you're putting all your focus back then on this prince. I feel like down here, this prince is now thinking about all that. So no wonder temperate shows, because if my ultimate goal is to have this commitment with this person, if that is my goal, if it's not, that's fine. But if it is, that's what it talks about. Temperance is saying patience, my dear. Why? Because he or she needs to feel this yearning within them. I feel like what happens is this is what sparks their, let's say, awakening, so to speak. I almost, well, kind of the same, but kind of opposite, because I feel like with these two tens here, of all that you endured, they know that. Because the Five of Cups, I'm looking at the cups that I've already spilt. The two cups that are behind me, I'm not looking at, right? I feel like that's a temperance saying, I have to, you know, they need, because this is what I think for some of them, is they start to have these realizations. They may have been guided to even watching tarot, or I don't know, but something I think moves them, that would only have moved them by them going deep emotionally. They had to miss you. That's what I feel like. They had to appreciate you. And now they're feeling that they lost you. Now I feel like I feel like this is giving us time difference too. This may be years for some of you, because this would be pretty fast growth otherwise. Not that we can't have that. So I know that it gives this person the realization of, that yearning, that ache in the belly, which triggers them to then understand more. It triggers them to see their part, right? Because I feel like they feel like there's no way you would take them back. That doesn't stop them from yearning for you. And I feel with the chariot here, which is the divine masculine and the divine feminine become balanced together. I feel like you became balanced when you left. It then helped balance you out. It taught you compassion and empathy. And I do feel like you started to chase your dreams. And the masculine was on the emotional side. That's probably why I saw the King of Cups on the bottom, because even though I feel a lot of fire in this prince, and I mean that only as in, I do feel this person just feels a little wild to me, like not really thinking about anybody else but themselves. Um, and certainly not taking a commitment seriously. I feel like almost like I thought we were in a relationship, and you act like we're dating. There is that differences, right? The energy of feeling tied to it. Anyway, why am I going to the negative? Um, let's see where this goes. Let's see where the chariot is going. we have the King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, potentially. And we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, I can tell you what this is. So, I don't know when this is. This is whenever this person has their realization. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. I feel like for those who really do want it, I am not saying keep your focus on them if they are keeping you in toxic energy. I'm telling you the opposite. What I'm saying is chase your dreams. Chase your dreams, right? Because that is what brings you to the balance that you need. And I feel like it brings you a satisfaction, and even an empowerment, right? And that was your growth. I feel like this movement from this person onto your own, I feel like that alone gave you some major growth. Major growth. It empowered you. And that you will never lose. You will never lose that. So you become strong within yourself. And now this person, Temperance says, is doing that. The King of Pentacles. Although he represents Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, to me, what it represents over temperance, over divine timing, is this is the king that feels solid. The King of Pentacles is loyal. The King of Pentacles is proud. Proud of their life, their family, their love. And I know some of you are going to be like, are you kidding me? That's not my earth sign. Well, I'm talking about those who have had an awareness. This isn't even about earth. This is about the person becoming strong within themselves. The King of Pentacles is about seeing the big picture. I see the big picture now. And what does he have next to him? The Nine of Swords. What is he afraid of? He's afraid that you may not see his perspective. Or you may not even hear him out. Or that you yourself may get aggressive. So he definitely carries that fear. And that fear is because of the realization. Realize all that I've done. But nonetheless. Let me grab that. Had to fly onto the floor. Well, no wonder. We're the Two of Cups. Again. Again. So, how do I love this line right now? Six of Pentacles. Balance. Right? Empathy. To who? To the world, but to each other and myself. Compassion. For the world, my lover, and myself, right? Because the Ace of Wands is the forcing energy. And then we have the energy of the Four of Wands to me, which is, this is the Ace of Wands, I'm sorry. Four of Wands is exactly what I said in the beginning of this reading. This is two people who couldn't imagine not committing to each other. This is, Two of Cups talks about, let's just look at it. So they're afraid you'll say no. You'll say go to hell, right? Are you kidding me? Maybe they don't know the growth that you've also had. The awareness that you've also had. The forgiveness that you have given yourself and you've given them, perhaps. Hopefully. But this Two of Cups, this love, it just keeps burning. It just keeps burning. Interesting. Well, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Though I do think we should do an oracle card. I feel like really what this is saying is be true to yourself. Nobody asked you to devote your life to to your twin. And if they're not ready to commit to you and give you all that you deserve, but maybe some of you didn't know I deserved it, right? I didn't know I deserved it, but now I know. And I don't mean that cocky at all. Now I know my worth, right? Now I know that I'm more than just this human form. Now I know that my soul calls out for experiences. This is why I'm here. These hard times are hard, no doubt. But the lessons that we can learn from them, we carry for eternity. If we allow ourselves. I think I'm going to leave it there. So I do think we're going to do an oracle card. I mean, the Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, all that was, and all it will be. Temperance, right with the Two of Cups. What does that talk about? Just surrendering. Temperance handles the timing. Healing ourselves, right? Healing within, healing that heart, healing thy mind. The Eight of Swords in reverse. This is healing of thy mind. How did I ever let myself get to the Ten of Swords? It's funny because I'm 59 now, and there's times I look back and I think I would do certain things differently, but I know now. And how do I know? Because I've had to go through it. I went through it, and I've stayed way too long sometimes. But to me, this is beautiful. This Eight of Swords in reverse is just beautiful. This is self-awareness. This is living in the present moment. This is believing again. In what? In you. Some say, but all I want is love. I think the best way to get love is to find a focus of something that brings me joy. And that may be helping other people. I feel like the more I'm in that energy, the more I help. Not just my twin, but really the world. I could choose to be miserable. I know people who do. I know my dad did. When he needed to move in with us, boy, he got cranky. And him and I went out to lunch one day, and boy, he just yelled. This is before I knew what was going on. He was the beginning stages of dementia, and um, but boy, he seemed aware that day. Anyway, he yelled, and the way he spoke to the waitress. I remember looking at him, and I said, "Dad," I'm like, "Please," especially with me there, because I'm the opposite. I'm all thank yous and I'm all pleases, and I get what they get paid, and I get all that. But anyway, as I said, just because you're getting older doesn't give you an excuse to be rude. And he agreed with me. Okay. Best memory I have with my dad is him and I. There was four of us kids, but him and I sitting on the back porch, or in two places actually, two houses. One in Pittsburgh, sitting in the sunroom. Him and I playing the guitar and singing. And then the house when we moved from Pittsburgh, we'd just swing on the back porch, and him and I would just at night, and it'd just be him and I, which is strange now I think about it. We have God, and we have be strong. We're gonna read these. It's interesting. I'm talking about my dad, and I'm thinking about that time. Um, just interesting. All right, God, you prayed for help, and now it's time to allow heaven to assist you. God's love and wisdom have always been available to you, provided that you're willing to trust His divine will. Release any unhealed components of your relationship with your Creator to Mother Mary and the angels in favor of developing a closer and more trusting one. This may require tremendous faith on your part, especially if you can't see a solution to your present situation on the horizon. This card indicates that you've been approaching this situation single-handedly, trying to anticipate and control the outcome by yourself. Anxiety comes from distrust in divine order and timing. That was our Sagittarius. I mean, Temperance. Anxiety comes from distrust in divine order and timing, along with disappointment when other people don't follow your plans. Surrendering your need to be the scriptwriter helps you to relax and actually get better results. God has room to heal you and the situation when you allow Him to be in charge. Beautiful. Let's read Be Strong. I feel like it's coming directly from God. This card counsels you to take swift and firm action towards resolving your present situation. Mother Mary avows that you are stronger than you think you are. You can also call upon the wellspring of God's strength to lift you up. Do not wallow in any feelings of victimhood or passivity. Why can I never say that word? Use your God-given strength right now. This card may also be asking you to engage in physical activity to develop your strong, healthy body. If you've been thinking about working out with weights, then this card is additional validation that it's time to exercise. Beautiful. God is asking us just to be strong. I am in union. I just came in union on March 18th. Oh, I think it's the 18th. Now I'm thinking the 13th. 13th or the 18th. Oh my gosh. Um, and it is beautiful, yet it's still hard, right? There's me, who is very strong-willed and very independent, and boy, I like my independence, and I don't mean towards going out with other people. I mean in doing my thing as mainly work. You guys are what allow me to release, and I love it. So, um, working out the kinks, but the majority had already been and working, worked out years ago. I have gone through this journey, my friends. I have gone through it all, and I am now in union, and I thank God. I love you guys. Love yourself. I just don't think that you are meant to stay in anything that is not bringing you what you deserve. Sometimes it's us who just stays too long because I don't know. I just think there's a lot of beauty and there was a lot of lessons. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your comments. I love your comments, especially when you go back and you talk to other people. I love that. I think explaining the journey. Some are just beginning the journey and it's confusing. I am not a reader who would ever tell someone to stay in anything that's abusive. You know, it's just, I feel like when you surrender and you find your focus, this beautiful world open up to me. Your beautiful world, whatever it may be, can open up to you too. That is no doubt. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye bye.